Demasiado. We got up in the building. What's up, CMI? I was talking about you yesterday. I was on this Dominican girl's pet live stream, basically. And I was telling her how, you be trying to take me out there. One of them. Yeah, one of them lives in Utica. She was single, too. I mean, she had a little weight on her, but she was pretty. One daughter. I think she might have wanted me to, like, connect with her, but I'm not ready for all that. I'm not ready for all that, you know what I mean? I don't know. To be honest, I feel like there's a lot of Latina good women, but I feel like I think I'm done. I'm not gonna say I would never date a Latina again, but I just feel like, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of trying, I mean, I dated Puerto Ricans, obviously. Dated a Cuban. I dated this one girl. She was half. I probably got these wrong, but she wasn't Mexican, but she was like half Ecuadorian and half Salvadorian or something like that. I think I got it right. Two of those, South American countries. They were, half, and she was half and half. She's from Canada. Didn't get too far though. We basically, I wouldn't even call it dating. We just had met up a couple times. Actually, yeah, it was just some brief shit. But I think I messed that up. eHarmony. What's that? Dating app? Nah. I'm full, bro. I ate too much, man. You ever eat too much and then you regret it? That's how I feel right now. I don't feel sick, but I bought a 12-inch. Yeah, I bought a 12-inch burrito, the biggest one they had my whole life. That's funny. Yeah. Yo, where are you gonna be for Halloween? No, I think you can't make. You said you weren't sure if you were going to DR or stay in Asia. I don't even know where you're at right now. But yeah, my kids just took a trip to Puerto Rico. I'm proud of them for traveling. 3 of my daughters went. 2 of them didn't go. One is too young, and one of them didn't go. I'm not sure why. Actually, tomorrow's the 30th. Tomorrow's her birthday. I gotta make sure I reach out to her tomorrow. But that's good though. I'm proud of them for traveling and doing the right thing. Staying out of trouble. They be ignoring me though, I be trying to give them advice. They ignore me, but I'm like, whatever. I ignore my parents too. But so It's what goes around comes around, basically, but it's all good. Drinking water. Yeah, that's all I drink. You already know. Tea, water, papa. Yeah, I took this one girl on a couple. I don't want to call them dates. Yeah, I don't know. We're just friends. And of course, she ordered soda, and I was like, shh, it's a red flag for me, bro. I know it sounds weird, and I'm a weirdo, but I want a girl that drinks water with me. And you know what's another red flag of mine is if they don't wash their hands, bro. I'm not the cleanest person in the world. Like, my truck is not the cleanest, my house don't be the cleanest, but when it comes to my hands, I gotta have clean hands, especially when I'm gonna eat. That's one of my pet peeves, bro. And they don't know that. I don't tell them in advance. And I'm not saying I wouldn't date a girl. She didn't wash her hands, but it's like a turn off for me. Does she smoke? Nah, smoking stinks too. I'd rather be with a girl that smokes bud than cigarettes. Because bud smell doesn't bother too much, but them cigarettes stink. And I used to smoke both. But yeah, I can't, understand how people could touch things all day, every day, and then just grab a burger or a taco or french fries, whatever it is, and just eat it. Just, that drives me nuts. I mean, if you're eating something with a spoon, it's understandable. You know what I mean? That, I might let it slide. But if you're touching something, oh, man. Yeah, I got, like, OCD when it comes to my hands. Like, I got like, if I go in a restaurant to eat, if I use the hot sauce bottle or ketchup, I'll grab it with my right hand. But then my food, I got to grab with my left hand because now I feel like my right hand is contaminated. That's how Muslims, I think I learned that from a Muslim guy. He said that they only eat with their left hand because they wipe their ass with their right hand. And even though they wash their hands after, but it's just like one of their, I don't know if, code or whatever you want to call it. And there's, no matter the freaking race, there's clean and dirty people from all sides of the world, And again, I'm not the cleanest person. I'm pretty sure I do stuff that people think is nasty, But that's one of my things. When I used to drive trucks and I had a local job, every day I would get into the truck, I had to wipe everything with a disinfectant wipe because I knew I was going to be driving and eating snacks. What's up, Big Easy? And I would drive with other guys and they wouldn't do. In my truck, I don't clean it every day because I feel like my steering wheel is clean because I keep clean hands, And if there is any, funk or bacteria or anything on there, it's like coming from me, basically. And I know it's not. I clean it sometimes, but not as much as I would if I knew, somebody else was using this truck. Bro, TMI, come on, man. People be scratching everywhere, and it's just like, oh, man. Oh, and don't even mention girls that bite their nails. Oh, yeah, that's a deal killer. And I got some family members that do that, and I love them, and I don't judge them for it, but I don't think I could literally, I don't care how bad a girl is, if she chews her fingers, I'm done. You could be like a dime piece. It's a wrap. That is, oh, man. Sometimes I lick my finger and, like, I forgot to clean it for whatever reason. And then it just tastes weird. And then I'm like, ugh. It irks me. It just feels disgusting. Anyway, what's up with you guys? Where you at, Big Easy? The weather is nice up here, man. I'm over here in Indiana. We've been getting some good weather for this time of year. I'm loving it. Oh, man. Yeah, I seen you put Asian earlier. That's what's up, man. I like Asian women. I like Asian women and Latina women. Those are my two favorite ethnicities. White girls are alright. They never, I mean, there's some beautiful bad women, don't get me right. And a lot of them are intelligent. But they just never really been my thing, you know what I mean? Would I date one? Yeah. But there's something about a Latina. Yeah, it makes sense. Those are the two countries that you're visiting, so I get it. What about any other Latin countries besides like Colombia and DR? Because those are like the two famous ones. Obviously, you got Peru, you got Venezuela. Well, I hear those Venezuelan women are that's top. They're up there. Um, I mean, the list just goes on and on. Argentina. I think I would check out Argentina or Venezuela. Anyway, Venezuela, we're in war with them right now, right? Like that shit is all messed up. I ain't going over there no time soon. I think I could do Colombia or maybe Argentina. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I prefer not to say. No disrespect. But I'm full as F. TikTok is the new dating site, though, bro. Told you that's where they at. There's mad Dominicans on there, too. And they all be single. That's what they say. I wouldn't want to hook you up, though, TMI. Because I wouldn't want to be in the middle because you're going to break one of their hearts and then they're going to come back complaining to me. Like, yo, why you hook me up with that dude? He was, you know, it only lasted 2 days and then I never heard from him again. Oh, man, I wouldn't do that. But, hey, long as you're honest with the women, I think that's what counts. I'm not sure how you and other guys do it, but I would respect somebody who just tells them straight from the rip, like, yo, you know what I mean? I'm just here to have a good time. You know, just looking for friends at the moment. And if they still cool with everything else going down, you let them know off the rip. But I think it would be wrong if you know what I mean? If you like acting like you on wife them or something, you know what I mean? Or in the back of your mind, you know you don't want to be with them long term, but you're acting like you do just to kind of, to do what you got to do. I think that's not fair. I wouldn't do that. That's the type of shit I should do when I was young, you know what I mean? But again, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to judge people, man. I broke women's hearts in the past, but I don't want to do that no more, And that's why that's why the next lady I date, I'm going to take my time with it and get to know them and make sure that spark turns into a flame, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you get a little spark and then it dies out and then it's like, damn, now what? You start telling them things that you regret and start doing this and start doing that. Like moving too fast, basically, And that's what I did wrong in the past. Move too fast. 14 minutes, what up? I ate too much, CDS. The Mexican food. I told you about it. I was going to go to it today. You know what I don't like about eating too much? You still want to eat more. Don't matter how much. If you eat a small meal or at least me, this is how I feel. If you eat a small meal or a big meal, you're still going to want to eat more in about 3 hours. So you might as well just eat a small meal. I mean, you're going to feel hungrier, but you're going to want food regardless. Especially if you eat carbs, because some carbs are, you already know, you just want more and more. I even had dessert today, but it's been a while since I ate dessert. It was flan. Wasn't the best flan, but I'm in Indiana, you know what I mean? So you can't expect the best Mexican food. They got me spoiled in Texas. I'm pretty sure you heard me say that in the past, but that Texas Mexican food, fire. But the pizza up in my city is the bomb, bro. I brought pizza from New Jersey when I went to Six Flags last month. I was disappointed, man. Massachusetts, the same thing. And don't get, obviously there's better pizzerias. I had good pizza in New Jersey before, but I just wasn't lucky that day. And it pisses me off because it's like I'm only there for 3 days. I'm only gonna try pizza once. You know what I mean? You want to try other foods, and I'm like, damn. And I did check the reviews, and reviews sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I do got Chat GPT now, so I'm gonna use that next time. I'm not gonna even use Google reviews because Chat GPT is better. They even helped me pick out somebody to do my siding. I just hired, I got a few quotes to put some siding on my house. Not the whole house, just the addition. I didn't put this addition on the house. This house already had an addition built on it a long time ago, but that part is falling apart. I put it on my TikTok. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but anyway. Yeah, ask ChatGPT, what are the best roofing and siding companies in Buffalo? And they gave me like 5 companies. So I ended up reaching out. I called maybe 4. 2 of them came. I got 2 quotes from 2 of them. And then I got a quote from a 3rd guy, but he wasn't off of ChatGPT. The other 2 guys, one, they didn't call back or whatever. They weren't following through. And I ended up hiring the one guy from ChatGPT, and, it's going good. They didn't start to work yet, and I told him too. I was like, yo, yeah, ChatGPT recommended. He was happy. He's a younger dude. I didn't go with the cheapest price this time either. I learned my lesson. Cheap doesn't mean better, and just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's going to be the best either. This time I went with the vibe, the track record, the reviews, the way they were explaining shit. Were they rushing me? Did they take their time to talk to me? That's what I like. Some guys are in and out. They're trying to rush you. Okay, bye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's customer service. What I don't like is the last guy. He didn't know I had a few quotes already. And I was acting stupid. I didn't let him know. So he was like, I'll hit you up like in an hour. He called me back like 2 hours later. He was like, okay, I got your quote. How much do you think it's going to be? And I was like, I don't know, man. That's your job. I was acting clueless. He was like 6,800. I was like, man, I already got 2 other quotes. 2 because I had 2 official quotes. And then 1 was just through like text. I was like, man, I already got 2 other quotes and you're the highest. Once I told him that, he was like, shit. He was like, okay, what were their numbers? I was like, one was 6,000 and one was 5750. He was like, oh, I could do it for 5,700, trying to beat the one guy by $50. And then he was saying how he's gonna do the bottom skirting real nice. And I did like that idea because the other guys didn't explain what type of skirting they were gonna do. And so I used that to mention to the other guy that I liked. And then he was like, yeah, I could do that for you too. So I learned, you learn as you go. You know what I mean? I don't got nobody to, you learn from experience. But yeah, so then I told him, I was like, yeah, I might go with you. But then after I hung up the phone from him, I was like, I didn't like I thought about it. And I was like, I don't like the way that you try to get me. You know what I mean? He was fishing. Because he seen I was a truck driver, and then he knew, I was telling him too much like I usually do and like I'm doing right now. I was explaining to him what I do, what I drive, my living condition. He was like, oh, this dude is stacking bread. The guy that I picked had a formula. That dude gave me a quote right there on the spot. Boom, 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 boom. He went in his phone. He took the measurements. Boom, 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 boom. He was like, boom, this is your number. He wasn't trying to, get more money. His price was his price. He has a set formula for his price. The other guy was like the type of person that felt if he could get more off of you, he's gonna get more off of you. And I didn't like that because that's not good business. And he lost a customer, And I'm gonna stick with this other guy. The other guy was younger too. He said he was working for the company for 14 years, and then he bought the business from the guy. And I liked that, I liked the fact that he had that track record. And in my mind, I'm like, you know what? If the guy sold this business to this young guy, it's for a reason, because this guy is standing on business. Sometimes it is about the money, But he told me that the guy let him put, he put like half down and he's making payments, like owner financing or whatever. And that spoke volume to me. And I'm like, yo, this guy is a stand up guy because nobody's going to want to let somebody else take over their business and like kind of build, tarnish their legacy. You know what I mean? Same name and all that. So I'm like, this dude let this guy take over his business for a reason. See what I mean? So I took all of that into consideration and I picked him. And I feel like it was a good choice. Yeah, exactly. TDS, the fat and the protein keeps you full longer. If they willing to give you good details and go further and explain it's best, even if they aren't the cheapest. Yeah, for sure, TDS. I learned that, man. Licensed and insured. You know what I mean? Depending on the job, if it's some little painting job or some landscaping, I could go with an amateur. You know what I mean? They could only mess it up but so much. But this got 10-year warranties. And the dude, I get, the dude, he ended up going to the other house around the corner. He got on his ladder. He climbed the roof because I told him I had my soffit was getting wet underneath, and he went up there and expected it for me. You know what I mean? Like, he was putting in that work, and he ain't even charged me for that. But now I need a new quote because I'm gonna have him do even more work. Because now he's gonna put I got some plaster or some cement that's falling off the skirting. So he's gonna, the one side of the house, he's gonna basically go around the whole house and put like new cement, new like not siding, but he's like getting mice in the house. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. So I'm trying to seal everything off. I'm gonna have them seal everything off as best as possible, and then I'm gonna call the rodent company to come do their job. Because I called the rodent company and they said they are only gonna cover holes that are 1/2 inches big, and I was like, she's like, yeah, anything bigger than that, we recommend that you get a contractor to like basically fix it. And I'm like, I might as well just wait till these guys do their part, and then the other guys can come and then finish it. And I'm trying to rent the apartment right now, and I'm kind of like, damn, I kind of feel bad because I'm gonna end up renting to somebody knowing that I know there's mice in there. But I mean, this is business. I can't tell them I got mice, but at the same time, I need this rent money. But at the same time, I am gonna do something about it. You know what I mean? I had tenants living there in the past that they would tell me, but they were like ghetto tenants. I guess they were used to. They were ghetto, They were ghetto. They were used to it. You know what I mean? They've been living with rats and mice their whole life. They like, you know what I mean? They would mention it, but they didn't make it like a big deal. And they know I'm a good landlord. I fix shit. Anything in the house that needs to be fixed, I fix. Like mice, I was kind of being lazy, but it bit me in the ass because I had a good tenant that just moved out. This African family that I was renting to. So that was the wake-up call. I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's either make your property legit, rat-free, and nice, and charge a little bit more and give better quality tenants, or keep your shit ghetto and keep ghetto people that are going to be owing you money and bringing their ghetto-ass friends and selling dope out your house and on the porch with loud music and smoking weed and all that shit. You know what I mean? So I'm learning. Yeah, that's a good idea, TDS, for sure. And that's what I told the lady on the phone. I was honest with her. I was like, the lady that owns the company, I was like, I know this is not your job, but I'm kind of like in a position where I'm going to attract a new... Because if you already got a tenant there for whatever, 3-4 months, then they end up getting mice, they already know you. You built a rapport, and, you go fix it. But I just feel bad because they're coming in the door. So I explained that to the lady, and she was like, yeah, you could just, she was like, yeah, most tenants are going to appreciate that, you're taking preventive precautions, you know what I mean? Like some land don't even do that. But yeah, I'm going to seal it up the right way, you know what I mean? Again, they're going to put new cement on the one side, and the other side, they're going to put some new woodwork. And then I'm going to cover all the holes, and then call the pros, and then they're going to... Because the pros are going to look for those really, 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 really tiny holes. You know what I mean? These guys are going to seal it up, but their job is not preventing mice. You know what I mean? They're gonna, but I explained that to him. I said, look, I want everything sealed the best way possible, and then maybe I should start renting. I don't mind renting to tenants with cats because that helps. But I got a one tenant that I'm running, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I told you about that in the past, and I'd be doing stupid shit. No doubt, TDS. Yeah, the one company is called Critter Control, and they were booked to like the end of November. I'm like, maybe I should call them because that gives me time. That gives me time to patch everything up because they're gonna do October. They're gonna do the siding and the cement. I think at the end of October, and that gives me time to get on those guys' list. And that's a good sign. I mean, they're a smaller company, but if they have a waiting list, that means they're on business. You know what I mean? I have a contract with Orkin right now, because I had cockroaches too, but they already got rid of them. But I got a year contract where they come, in the beginning they come like every month for this first 2 months, and then now they come every other month. But I don't like their service, like miscommunication. I leave them voicemails, they don't call me. Everybody's telling me something different. They're just like all over the place. I said, nah, they lost a customer. And I explained that to the last guy that came, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my manager call you. And his manager, somebody ended up calling me, but they were just asking about what type of service I wanted for the mice. But they didn't tell, they weren't trying to, I guess, appease me. You know what I mean? Like, not that I want them to apologize, but I'm a customer. You should apologize. Because I was trying to give my tenant the green light to basically handle it, and it was just a mess. Yeah, for sure. I'll keep that in mind, TDS. But yeah, I think 1 year of service for the rats should do. You know what I mean? Pay for like a year's service or whatever. That'll get them gone. That'll get them out. The kicker is I have a duplex. I was asking my friend if his father has a single, because he got his father's lease for me. He sent it to me through email, and I was reading his lease, and in his lease it says that, it doesn't say rodents, but pest control is the responsibility of the tenant. You know what I mean? And he charges for pest control, and they signed the contract. They signed the lease. I mean, if you sign the lease and it clearly says that the landlord is not responsible for pest, you agree to that. But again, his property is a single, so I think he could get away with that more easily. You know what I mean? I got a duplex, so I don't think it's fair that one tenant could be not clean and attract, any type of pests. And I guess pests would mean roaches or mice, right? They all fall under the same category. A human could be a pest too. Like in Spanish, we call somebody a peste, and that means like if somebody's drunk or if they stink. It's just like a house cleaner, a routine cleaner. A routine cleaner costs less than once a month. Pest control is a I don't know how to say, or I don't even know how to pronounce that word or what it means, but a concierge service added to our lease. Yeah, I just don't know how that would work with a duplex. I think you can still get away with it, but what I'll do is, pay for like the year service or whatever, depending on the company I use. Because some companies have different programs. Like I had used one company for roaches, and they did like a 2-month service, and it was like guaranteed. And then I still had roaches after like the 3rd month, so I had to pay for 1 more month, and then I was done. But Oregon wants you to pay for like a whole year plan, and obviously your Oregon is going to charge you more because you're paying for a whole year. But it just kind of just depends. You know what I mean? I did save some money going with that 3-month service, But I think for the mice, I think I'll just. I mean, I'm going to talk to a few different companies. I do want the one company that I talked to because my neighbor used them. They had mice, and now they don't have none. So that's, hearing it from the horse's mouth. My neighbor, and he's a good friend of mine, and he wouldn't lie to me. Yeah, for sure, TDS. No doubt. But anyway, man, I'm going to get out of here. It's been 30 minutes. Thanks for chatting with me, TDS. Have a great day, a great week. Appreciate you, and stay safe out there. Peace. And if anybody else is still listening, peace out. I guess I could leave this live stream up because I didn't say nothing, too crazy. And anybody watching the replay, there's different reasons why I put them in private. And some people think they know exactly why all the time, but none of us know. None of us have all the answers. You know what I mean? Some of us have more answers than others, but at the end of the day, I should just be myself, you know what I mean? Stop caring what people think and what they say about me, because ain't nobody paying my bills at the end of the day, If it's not my parents or my kids or maybe like close friends and family, I shouldn't care. But anyway, I'm out of here, man. Take it easy. Peace out.